Since time began, man has been fascinated by the mystery of the moon. But over 60 years ago, writer H.G. Wells anticipated the shape of things to come with his fascinating adventure, First Men in the Moon. The story of the first men to bridge the 250,000 miles between heaven and earth. This is how it began.
This is a solemn moment in the history of mankind.
We're off!
What's happening?
Just as I predicted, shot into space with the speed of a bullet!
First Men in the Moon. An experience unparalleled on the screen as two worlds meet and clash.
Come on! Help me, come on!
First Men in the Moon. Starring Edward Judd, first human to set foot on a strange new world in space. Martha Heyer, the first woman to experience the indescribable dangers of this other world.
Stay away from there, I'll shoot!
Lionel Jeffries, who discovers an empire beyond imagination. First Men in the Moon. Filmed in Dynamation. Dynamation, miracle of the screen, captures the whole marvelous, miraculous story of man's first journey to the moon.
Well, it makes all other forms of power obsolete. That's why they're getting their power from sunlight.
You will discover human ant-like creatures H.G. Wells called selenites. And giant gastropods.
Gather, run!
Fearsome moon monsters to be hunted and killed. You will encounter another world of eerie beauty and infinite mystery.
Soon others will be coming from Earth. Our galleries will be strewn with dead.
I'm the only one who holds the secret of Cabarite.
You and your secret will remain here on the moon.
Cabo! Cabo, this is not an audience. You're on trial. No, Bedford, no! You're convicted.
You are listening to the sound of a completely new screen experience. A startling new kind of excitement. As 20th Century Fox plunges you into the most incredible adventure that man could ever achieve. To make a motion picture that crosses a new frontier may seem impossible today. Outer space, the depths of the sea, the bowels of the earth, the past, the future, all have been subjects for the camera. But now, a film called Fantastic Voyage has broken through in an unexpected direction to create an adventure of astonishing suspense and beauty.
One of the miracles of the universe.
Its vital new story sweeps down from the sky. Then it drops the bottom out of the world you know and understand. As a beleaguered nation desperate for survival launches a journey you can never erase from your memory.
We need you for security purposes, Mr. Grant. They know they failed to kill Benish. Security thinks they'll try again, first chance they get.
A woman has no place on a mission of this kind.
I insist on taking my technician.
You'll take along who I assign.
Don't tell me who I'm going to work with.
4 men and a beautiful girl, off on a fantastic voyage, actually entering inside the human body, exploring an unknown universe, unknown dangers.
They're tightening. I can't breathe.
24 seconds left.
After that, you're in danger of attack.
Come on.
It's sheer suicide for all of us.
You are there with them, sharing a breakthrough in motion pictures.
He's gone.
If you thought it was too late to discover something entirely new on the screen, Fantastic Voyage will be a stunning experience. For you are going where no man or camera has ventured before. And when you come out, you may never look at yourself in the same way again.
Give me your widest beam. Full power.
Flying saucers have invaded our planet. Washington, London, Paris, Moscow are key targets. The whole world is under attack. Can it survive?
We are the survivors of a disintegrated solar system. At this moment, the remainder of our fleet is circling your globe.
What do you want with me?
Arrange for your world leaders to confer with us in the city of Washington.
They set up an electronic screen. The artillery doesn't penetrate.
Never before has the screen reached such heights of excitement. Breathtaking spectacle. Hair-raising terror. See the saucer men's frequency disintegrated. See flying saucers travel thousands of miles in seconds. See great cities leveled by flying saucer monsters.
Russ, look.
The same kind of thing that's watched us since the beginning of the project.
People of Earth, attention. People of Earth, attention. This is a voice speaking to you from thousands of miles beyond your planet.
They're coming down to take over. They made that clear to us in the saucer.
To the best of our knowledge, my wife and I are the only ones left alive.
Adventure is gold. Danger is gold. Thunderbirds are gold. Now, on the big screen, in Technicolor and Technoscope, Thunderbirds are gold. The incredible Tracy family, secretly known as International Rescue, again blast into action from their secret base on an uncharted island somewhere in the Pacific. Thunderbirds are gold. You'll streak through uncharted worlds of adventure. You'll journey to the Swinging Star, nightclub of the stars. You'll share the danger as the Thunderbirds battle for survival against the rock snakes of the dark planet. Now, on the big screen, in Technicolor and Technoscope, a brand new adventure that takes you where you've never been before. Thunderbirds are gold.
1 million years BC erupts on the screen with volcanic excitement. 1 million years BC, when the earth parted and the mountains fell. Primitive man and monstrous beasts fought each other to inherit the earth. Since time began has the primitive scene been captured for the screen with such imaginative realism. Behold man 1 million years BC. Introducing the fabulous Raquel Welch, the sensational star discovery of this or any other year in 1 million years BC. See her as Loana the Fair One, who deserted her tribe and risked her life to follow Tumac of the Rock People. John Richardson as Tumac, as big and strong as the beasts he fought for survival. Nupondi the Wild One, whom no man could resist. See the fascinating, strange, and fearful creatures who roamed and ruled the earth 1 million years BC. Brontosaurus, a moving mountain of flesh and bone. The pterodactyl, a flying reptile with giant teeth. The flesh-eating Allosaurus. The Triceratops, a horned dinosaur in battle with the savage Ceratosaurus. You will share the unending thrills and excitement of a world of primitive wonders, of primeval terror and savagery. You will indeed live in another world, in another time, as the centuries fall back to reveal the Earth 1 million years BC. Introducing the fabulous Raquel Welch as Loana the Fair One. John Richardson as Tumac.
Could be the beginning of the end for the human race. For what men first thought were meteors or the often ridiculed flying saucers are in reality the flaming vanguard of the invasion from Mars.
Looks like they're going to come out of that gully pretty soon. We'll have to rush our defenses to be ready when they do.
We're going to need plenty of reinforcements.
We'll get them. Lieutenant! Look!
They slashed across country like scythes, wiping out everything that's trying to get away from them.
That explains why communication is cut the moment their machines begin moving.
Montreal's blacked out. Nothing more's come through.
Same thing that happened on the Pacific coast. Anything from them yet?
No, Mr. Secretary. We've had nothing from San Francisco for over 5 hours.
The nations of the world mobilize their armed might, rushing to defend the Earth against the unknown weapons of the super race from the Red Planet. Is there nothing that can stop the Martian death machines? Guns, tanks, bombs. They're like toys against them.
We know now that we can't beat their machine. We've got to beat them.
All over the world, human beings cower before the onslaught of these unearthly enemies, whom no one has ever seen. Panic that sweeps around the globe as the great masses of mankind flee blindly in a headlong stampede of hysteria.
Flying saucers have invaded our planet. Washington, London, Paris, Moscow are key targets. The whole world is under attack. Can it survive?
Of a disintegrated solar system. At this moment, the remainder of our fleet is circling your globe.
What do you want with me?
Arrange for your world leaders to confer with us in the city of Washington.
They set up an electronic screen. The artillery doesn't penetrate.
Never before has the screen reached such heights of excitement, breathtaking spectacle, hair-raising terror. See the saucer men's high-frequency disintegrators. See flying saucers travel thousands of miles in seconds. See great cities leveled by flying saucer monsters.
Ross, look. The same kind of thing that's watched us since the beginning of the project.
People of Earth, attention. People of Earth, attention. This is a voice speaking to you from thousands of miles beyond your planet.
They're coming down to take over. They made that clear to us in the saucer.
To the best of our knowledge, my wife and I are the only ones left alive.
This time it's Earth, 1973. It's baby Milo who has Washington terrified. Escape from the planet of the apes. A hero's welcome turns into a wild ape hunt, especially for baby Milo. Why? Escape from the planet of the apes. Rated G.
Monsters. It's alive. A gigantic beast. Stalking the earth, crushing all before it. In a cyclonic cavalcade of electrifying horror. Raging through the streets on a rampage of total destruction. Godzilla, king of the monsters. Incredible titan of terror. Wiping out a city of 6 million in a holocaust of flame. Jet planes cannot destroy it. Bombs cannot kill it. All modern weapons fail. Is this the end of our civilization? Can the scientists of the world find a way to stop this creature? Or the answer, see Godzilla, king of the monsters. You may wish to deny it, but your eyes tell you it's true. A tale to stun the mind. More fantastic than any ever written by Jules Verne. More terrifying than any ever shown on the screen. Awesome. Incredible. Unbelievable. A story beyond your wildest dreams. Dynamic fun. Savage action. Spectacular thrills. Godzilla, king of the monsters. Fantastic beyond comprehension. Gripping beyond compare. Astounding. astounding beyond belief, the mightiest gangster of them all. See Godzilla!
Calling spaceship. Report name and destination immediately. You are under our space control.
Okay, let him have it. The bullets have no effect. I'll try a gas grenade.
Here on the 13th moon of the planet Saturn are atomic forces that control the tides of all earthly desire. Within the moon's temple of love dwell the fire maidens of outer space, dedicated to the purpose of creating a new race of supermen and holding captive all who fall under their spell.
By the Lord of Atlantis, I am yours.
But theirs is a moon-mad evil love that makes victims of their own kind and puts them to the fearful ordeal by fire.
You are about to see are more incredible than anything today's science or fiction ever imagined. Sometime in the near future, when we least expect it, they will come. Cities will burn. Mankind will panic. Our world will tremble. When the invasion from another time and another place begins, disbelief will be shattered, and the truth of an ancient past will be revealed. When it occurs, you will see men turned killers by mysterious power.
I wanted to kill you.
Why?
Because you are different.
Women will be defiled by the invaders from outer space.
It's Barbara. She's the one.
Scientists will vainly attempt to save civilization.
My duty now is to quieten public alarm. And you keep your damn paws out of things.
It could happen in your lifetime. See it before it's too late.
Gentlemen, science has agreed that unless something is done and done quickly, man as the dominant species of life on Earth will be extinct within a year.
by direction of the President of the United States, stay in your homes. I repeat, stay in your homes. Your personal safety, the safety of the entire city, depends upon your full cooperation with the military authorities.
Yes, cities, nations, even civilization itself, threatened with annihilation, because in one moment of history-making violence, nature, mad, rampant, wrought its most awesome creation. But born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust were things so horrible, so terrifying, so hideous. There is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true, and there shall be destruction and darkness come upon creation, and the beast shall reign over the earth.
Yes, the earth, the skies above and the seas below, infested by swarms of nightmare creatures, crueler, deadlier than the armored giants of prehistoric eras. Here is a wild, headlong flight into terror, as the desert erupts with the grim battle for survival. Here is a fear-frenzied moment of suspense, as mankind totters before a thing that multiplies faster than it can be killed. Here is a desperate plunge into the black depths of the earth, where human courage challenges the brute force, the slashing jaws, the poison fangs that guard the subterranean nest where the beast spawns its terrible progeny.
To all units, condition red, drain 267 is the target area. Repeat, condition red, drain 267 is the target area.
Type of gas we could use?
No, we can't take a chance. It might poison the whole city.
Gentlemen, we are witnessing a biological chain reaction, a geometrical progression of deadly menace.
It had started casually, insignificantly, as momentous events often do.
Look there. 2 points off the port bow.
The giant behemoth, the fire-spitting monster predicted in the Bible, its core a mass of lethal radiation. Rising from the depths of time, it's
Find a way of destroying this creature in one piece. Judging by the beast's size, I would say it was powerful enough to drive a battleship. Of course, its tremendous electric charge is what projects the radiation. That's what makes the creature so deadly. Have you any concrete suggestions? Yes. First, block off the Thames.
From Outer Space is a picture that you'll long remember for its blending of science and fiction, for its eerie terror, and for its story of an invasion from another planet
that's almost beyond imagining. I tell you, from its size and its appearance, this thing came from outer space. I even have reason to believe that there's some form of life in it. What do you want? What are you doing? Let me see you as you really are.
Stand by for excitement from time and space. The love factor is coming. You'll see the willing women of India that live forever. See the love maidens from time defend their secret kingdom. See incredible beauties from the fifth dimension. See the love factor, a bedroom romp through time and space. See the love factor. Rated R.
Picture of our time has ever unleashed shock spectacle of such scope and realism as up from the depths of prehistoric mystery rages Virgo. The headlines of the world blaze the fabulous story of this monster from another age, catapulted from some vast sub-ocean cavern by unprecedented volcanic action. And the headlines scream the story of the reckless skin divers who captured the monster and put it on exhibition.
Stop! Pull out! Drop the net! What do you think you're doing? Hey, take it easy.
I can't let him go back and see where he belongs.
Why?
Maybe to save their silly skins for you.
Hurry, hurry, hurry to see Gogo.
But the headlines do not record the story of a little boy who had a curious sympathy and understanding for the fantastic creature. What strange secret does he know that scientists only suspect?
You trying to say there may be a fully grown one of these things around somewhere? How big would a full-grown one be?
An approximate guess. The infant. The adult.
That would make it nearly 200 feet tall.
Wreaking terrible vengeance against the civilization that has captured its offspring. Towering over the cities of the world as millions flee its awesome terror. Nothing can stop it. Defying the force of the Army. The might of the Navy.
Line number 1, Harry. Ready to open fire, sir. Fire 1.
Even the fury of the jets. In a crashing crescendo of sights never before beheld by human eyes, and adventures never before experienced by any man or woman.
The lonely, helpless Earth. The 21st century. The world of the future. And lurking beyond the cold, strange immensity of conquered space. Growing and spreading beyond the warped imagination of the greatest human intellect. Exploding in unspeakable horror. The green slime. The civilized world at war with alien forms, whose slimy touch means instant, horrible death. Invaders from beyond the stars. The green slime. Robert Horton. Gianna Paluzzi. Richard Jacob.
You make too many mistakes. You're not right for command.
This is my command, and I'll manage it. Two men struggle for survival in the infected remains of a diseased universe. searches for a last chance to save the human race from the desperate hunger of the green slime. A battle in space against faceless beings. A cosmic nightmare that sends you into the incredible, berserk world of green slime! Green slime! Green
Meet the most beautiful creature of the future. Her name is Barbarella, and she makes science fiction something else. Jane Fonda is Barbarella. Barbarella is a 5-star, double-rated astronavigatrix Earth girl whose specialty is...
love.
Shall I tell you what I would like?
I think I know.
Her top secret mission is a real wing-dinger.
I got him. Good many dramatic situations begin with screaming. Could you hand me a garment?
See Barbarella do her thing with the nice angel. With the warm, friendly Iceman. With the cold, evil Black Queen.
Hello, pretty.
With the charming hand-to-hand Romeo. See Barbarella do her thing in the wild, excessive machine.
Sort of nice, isn't it?
In the biting birdcage. In the chamber of dreams. In the labyrinth of love. In the deadly dollhouse. In the palace of pleasure. You find adventure beyond your imagination when you get lost in space with Barbarella.
Ship of the future, 350,000 miles up. Explore limitless space with the world's greatest astronauts.
Pegasus 4 to Lunar Base 1. We're entering a heavy magnetic field.
Take part in the terrifying search for the Phantom Planet. Battle an army of deadly meteors. See daredevil men repair their ship on the edge of eternity. Vital feed lines hit. Air cut off.
My ship is being drawn toward an asteroid. Instruments completely out of operation. I'm going to try to land. I don't think I'll make it.
See the first man land on the Phantom Planet. see a 6-foot man shrink to 6 inches before your very eyes. Introducing Dolores Faith as Zetha, the girl from outer space, whose beauty secrets are wrested from the cosmic rays of the Milky Way. Discover the atomic mysteries of the universe.
Those are gravity plates that we've had placed here. Their intensity is so high that any object or any person placed on any one of them would immediately disintegrate. Here, let me show you.
Men on the Phantom Planet risk instant death for their women. The appalling warfare of other worlds. Sun-blazing solarites attack.
The greatest danger to us is the high-intensity heat bomb.
Right. They have enough concentrated heat to blow up our planet instantly.
See the solarite monster break loose. Thrill to the awe-inspiring battle for survival.
Activate the gravity curtain.
The fantastic power of the weapons of outer space. Cosmic rays destroying the solarite.
I am your master. I have transformed you into a giant of great strength, and you must obey me.
This innocent-looking greenhouse is the secret workshop of Dr. Decker. These unusual foliages are insectivorous and carnivorous, man-devouring plants, and contain a rare chemical of growth of as yet unknown powers. Kunga, towering, terrorizing threat to civilization. Kunga, ever-growing man-made beast of immeasurable strength.
Let me go! Please, let me go! I said let me down! Help! Help!
Fantastic. There's a huge monster gorilla that's constantly growing to outlandish proportions, loose in the streets.
Astronaut Stephen West was returning from outer space. But something terrible had happened.
His mind is so completely decomposed.
We've got to find him. Stephen West had turned into the Incredible Melting Man. The Incredible Melting Man is the first new horror creature. Come prepared. Rated R.
Agar is the nice-looking young man, introduced by John Hoyt to pretty June Kenny. And when boy meets girl, well, they do what comes naturally. But the loss of love has made this mild-mannered man into a maniac. A maniac who wants to make you a plaything. And the fearsome fact is, he knows how to do it.
Why, I'm your friend.
How would you like to be a living doll this madman can do with as he pleases? A monster his own woman had reason to flee. See, the world that the child in each of us knows. See, a baby doll take a bubble bath in a coffee can.
What are you talking about? Sally. Tell her. He said that tonight. He said tonight he was going to kill us all.
It only takes one of us to go for help.
Feel the fantastic fear of living in a normal world, but being dwarfed by people many times your size.
In the files of the Central Bureau in Washington, D.C., there is a story so strange in its implications that it defies ordinary classifications. Time, 7:19. An unidentified object was picked up 200 miles southwest of Point Barrow, Alaska. Height, 75,000 feet. Estimated speed, 5,000 miles per hour. White warning. 7:54. First interceptor flight airborne. Point of interception, 80 miles due west of San Francisco, California. 7:55. Unidentified object past point of interception. Red warning. This is the account of a handful of people who, in the course of one desperate night, fought off an unknown, unseen menace from another world. Doubly terrifying because it was invisible.
Is that you, Doctor?
Shrinking man.
You are getting smaller. There's no medical precedent for what's happening to you. I simply know that you're getting smaller.
I want you to stop thinking about us, our marriage. Some awful things might happen.
As long as you've got this wedding ring on, you've got me.
This is Orson Welles speaking. I have 45 seconds to tell you about something I think you'll remember the longest day you live. It's about a man named Scott Carey. A few months ago, he was 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed 190 pounds. Today, he's 2 inches tall, and you can hold him in the palm of your hand. Now he lives in a world where he must fight for his life, a world where a friendly house cat is a predatory monster.
Incredible because it's almost beyond imagining. Incredible because every hour he gets smaller and smaller. Incredible because every moment the terror mounts.
staff in Mantell investigate an unidentified object in your area.
What the hell are we looking for?
I see it. Above and ahead of me. I'm trying to close in for a better look.
Here is the real flying saucer story. You will see with your own eyes actual motion pictures of flying saucers. Scenes that were stamped top secret by the Pentagon. These films have never before been shown to the general press and public. These men are about to see actual motion pictures of flying saucers. You will see them too in unidentified flying objects. You'll meet the men who lived every terrifying moment of the flying saucer story as it actually happened and is still happening.
This is Captain Willis Sperry, an airline pilot, giving an official account of his sighting of unknowns.
The object was flying head-on at us. It was 50 times the magnitude of the brightest star.
Warrant Officer Clement Newhouse, chief photographer, U.S. Navy, who filmed a group of flying objects in Utah.
How would you describe these objects?
They had a metallic appearance. They seemed to be made of some kind of polished metal, like two saucers, one inverted over the other.
Red Dog 1 to Washington Control.
We are in the radar room at National Airport, Washington, D.C. on July 26, 1952. For the first time, unidentified flying objects have been sighted over the nation's capital.
I see them. They're all around me. They're moving in on me. They're coming closer. They're coming right at me.
Whatever you have imagined in your wildest dreams now becomes a visual reality. As Jules Verne's most fantastic adventure in space and time becomes an amazing film experience.
Lighten the basket, we gotta gain height.
Jules Verne, the man whose great stories inspired such unusual films as Around the World in 80 Days, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Journey to the Center of the Earth, surpasses them all with Mysterious Island. Starring Michael Craig, who triggers the screen's most thrilling escape, Gary Merrill as a war correspondent, Joan Greenwood, shipwrecked on the mysterious island. And in this story of survival, Michael Callan and Beth Rogan.
Come on.
What's it doing?
I don't know.
Sealing us in.
Also starring Herbert Lom as the mysterious Captain Nemo and his fabulous submarine, the Nautilus.
Aren't we able to do anything to save ourselves?
There's nothing that can be done.
Super Dynamation, newest and greatest screen process, astonishes the eye with such scenes as the fight to the death with a prehistoric devilfish, the discovery and destruction of an underwater city, Mysterious Island, photographed on land, under the sea, and in the air. Truly a first in motion pictures.